Time is 9 o'clock. I call the meeting to order. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is Justin running late?
He's not going to be here.
Okay, agenda. Does anyone wish to motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes?
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That motion is carried. Public comment. At this time, this public is welcome to address the county board on any matter of county concern. When invited to speak, please state your name, address, and the topic you are addressing. Members of the public may speak respectfully for up to 2 minutes. The public comment period is limited to a total of 15 minutes.
That's easy.
County board members may ask or answer questions of the speaker, but issues shall not be debated during the public comment period. At the board's discretion, the board may agree to schedule matters addressed during the public period on the current board agenda or on a future board agenda. All discussions must be civil in nature and must be directed at the board, not at other members of the public. Any discussions regarding employee or department performance are not allowed and should be taken up with the Human Resources Department or appropriate department head. Does anyone wish to address the board? If not, we'll proceed with our meeting.
Steve, do you think we could have that, what you just read, put in the minutes also?
Sure. Okay.
I noticed on the comments last time that you read something, but it wasn't.
Okay.
I'd like to see it in the minutes.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
I'll let
Tess.
Justin come down
Okay.
to one of these other stuff.
Okay. We could. Consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll second it.
Motion made, seconded. Is there further discussion?
So, thank you, Todd.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Alrighty, Highway Department, I don't have another meeting scheduled for immediately.
I want to discuss it more, but if Tessa's on her way down, I don't want to be in the
Let's
middle
not
of
start it now,
as
certainly.
we
No.
That
do.
makes sense.
And Historic Jail, and I think County, that's probably a test thing too, also. Has everyone seen the claims and License Center disbursements?
Yeah, I like getting them in advance like that. I'll make a motion to approve the claims.
I'll second it.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, nay.
I didn't sign it.
That is carried. And we have a liquor license for Valley High, new ownership, I guess.
Correct.
Correct?
Oh, so it wasn't in our packet though, right?
No.
Okay,
we
all right,
kinda
that's
got it in
okay.
at the last minute. It's now owned by Forsum Group LLC, so we need to transfer the license.
So you need a motion
I
to
do.
transfer the license? I'll make a motion to transfer the license.
I'll second it.
Is that the name of it? Foursome Group?
It's
or-
going to still be called Valley High Golf Club, but it's
Okay.
owned by Forsum Golf Group LLC.
Okay.
Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, nay. And that is carried. Jess, are you ready to roll?
We sure are.
Okay.
And good morning, Commissioners. I have a short agenda before you. I was very pleased to say that we have 2 employees who have successfully completed their probationary period. For public health, we're requesting that we change the employment status of Leah Mildy from probationary to regular status effectively July 12th, 2015. Her department head, Mary Marshall, Director of Public Health, is here to support this request.
How long has she been here? Is it 6
6
months already?
She will be here 6 months
Okay, wow, that time
on
has gone
July
by.
12th.
Yes.
Okay.
She's been just really a terrific asset to our department. She was bright, quick, and has been really helpful in streamlining some of our operations. So we don't want to let her go.
Don't want to get away.
And,
Good.
yeah.
I'll make a motion to change the status for Leah Meldy.
I'll second it.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 And opposed, nay. Motion is carried.
Thank you.
I'll catch up with you in a minute.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mary, does she, I want to ask one more question. Does she work with your finance person then, so that they can they're cross-trained a little bit?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks, Mary. And you have more.
Next, we have a request to change the probationary status of Renee Wagner from probationary to regular effective July 12th, 2015. She's with the auditor's office, and her department head is also here and can speak.
Renee is a wonderful asset. We're very happy to have her in the department. She learns quickly, she fits in well, she's wonderful with the public. I can't say enough good about her.
And she'll be active in the election season
Yes,
now.
she will.
So we have the formal performance reviews have been filed with Human Resource Office, and our office, of course, supports both of these measures.
Motion to approve the
Status?
status from probationary to regular,
Effective July 12th.
effective July 12th.
I'll second it.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, nay. That motion is carried.
And just by way of update, just since I haven't given you an informational update in a while, we have negotiations today with AFSCME. Our negotiations are still outstanding with AFSCME as well as with both of the 49ers unit. And we did receive notice of ratification from MAPE of that agreement, and the full agreement is being implemented for your review and consideration, and we'll bring that forward as soon as we have it.
Do you have anything on the jail?
On the jail, I don't. On this building, I do,
Oh, on this
Commissioner.
Okay.
We have contracted with the architectural engineering firm at a cost of $3,900 to supplement our historic structures report that was done on this building with all of the changes that would be necessary in order to hopefully have a successful application with the Historical Society. That preliminary application deadline is upon us. It's the 31st of this month. That firm will be here today. They'll be inspecting the facility, and in fact, they'll be here at 9:30, inspecting the facility and specifically the roof, so that all of the 3 quotes that are required by the Historical Society, the State Historical Society, there'll be apples-to-apples comparisons, and it'll be with all the historical components that are required for the grant application.
For the application for the legacy grant.
The large capital legacy grant. And so we have a bit of a tight deadline, but we're moving forward, and appreciate them coming down and offering to rewrite that report for us, as well as doing the inspection, and I think the fee was very reasonable. Yes. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Bob?
Morning, Commissioners. I'm just going to give a report on public hearings that were held back on June 18th. There were 3 hearings on the agenda. A variance, conditional use, and an interim use. Ron and Jim Holte from Spring Grove Township were on the agenda for a variance of 150 feet to meet the required setback from expanding their feedlot to a nearby neighboring dwelling. As they were expanding, the requirement standard in the ordinance is a quarter-mile setback. They were within that quarter-mile, and Board of Adjustment made a decision to go ahead and grant that variance. They were also up for a conditional use hearing, the same farm, same facility, to expand that feedlot above the 300 animal unit threshold that requires a conditional use permit in Houston County. They plan to go up to $999 with the addition of a new barn, slat barn they call it, to feed cattle. That barn would hold 740 head of finished cattle at its capacity, and that would go along with 200 head that are currently on that existing feedlot. I ran an offset model that helps determine odors coming off a feedlot based on the type of buildings, confinement buildings, type of animals that are held there, and the closest dwelling. And with that model developed by the University of Minnesota, I found that 92% of the time it would be annoyance-free in that area. So with that and a few other things, they're working on a manure management plan specifically for that farm with a consultant from Claremont, Minnesota, and that's being worked on. They have access to well over 1,000 acres just for that facility to spread manure. The Planning Commission recommended approval with the condition that they follow all federal, state, and local permits. We had one interim use hearing for Tim Hines of Brownsville Township. He's looking to start a home occupation to sell cars at his residence in Brownsville Township. Typically, he sells up to five, 6 cars a year at a site that he had within the city limits of Brownsville. He no longer has an opportunity to sell cars there, so he's going to sell them from his home residence. And the Planning Commission, through the discussion, came up with a couple limits for him. They want to limit him to 12 vehicles on his property at a time. Now, those are vehicles that are either for sale or he's getting ready to sell, clean them up, whatever, and that the permit would be limited to 10 years. It's an interim use permit, so you can put limits on the time that permits go with that owner of that land. So he is not doing a lot of body work or painting. He's doing no painting. That stuff is done off-site. It's like he'll send away a quarter panel for a front end of a car, get that refurbished, painted, bring it back to his house, and then he'll bolt that back on. But that's the limit to what he's telling us as far as the mechanics of the cars he's working on. And so for your decision today, you'd have the conditional use for Holtes and the interim use for Tim Hines.
Say on Holtes, you said 92% of the time would be no nuisance. In other
Right,
words. Is there a
annoyance-free.
limit or something? I mean, at some point,
It's just a tool. The offset model is just a tool to help
Mhm.
governing agencies determine
Yeah.
if something's going to
That
be
would be
a
mainly
a
smell, I
nuisance.
think.
Right.
Nuisance would be smell, right?
right.
And Holtes are trying out a new thing. They went to Ireland to get it's a new product. You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
They have a new product that no one else, they went to Ireland to investigate it.
mhm.
Yeah, they
And
found
that's going to help with the nuisance, isn't it?
Right. What it is, a slat barn is, well, it's a barn with a pit underneath. There's slats over the top
Yep.
of it. Typically, you see them in hog barns. You see them in cattle barns too, but in this case, it's for cattle. Now, on top of that slat, where the cattle walk, of course, there's spaces in there to let the manure fall through into the pit. On top of that concrete slat, he's got like a small water bed. It's a air-filled plastic surface that the cattle walk on and lay on, that it's domed up and it doesn't allow urine to accumulate on top of that slat. And that the accumulation of urine on top of the slat and on the cattle is sometimes what causes the smells, the odors, especially in hog confinement. With the fact that it's domed up, that urine and feces run down through the slat quicker, it stays drier on top of that slat, and it's a better opportunity for less odors coming off that.
Mhm.
Like the offset model of the University of Minnesota doesn't even account for that. So it just accounts for the type of facility, the type of manure holding facility, and the type of livestock. it does not account for that. So that's kind of like a little bit of insurance to help.
Mhm.
It might be reduced odors as well because of that product, so. Kind of a neat deal. It's a comfort deal for the cattle, you know, you don't use bedding, they just lay on top of that cushioned slat.
Yeah, I see you've got pictures of it here.
Yeah, that was good to see that.
Yeah.
It's like an air mattress for them.
Yes, it looks.
Yep. We see it in dairy facilities once in a while in freestyle barns. Some dairy operations use water beds. It's a rubber-filled mat that's filled with water, just like a water bed. And it's anytime you're dealing with livestock and production, comfort is huge. If you've got a comfortable animal with access to clean air, water, feed, that in this case, these cattle are going
Contented
to
cows.
grow well. You
Mhm.
know, they're in a comfortable environment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You need separate
Yeah.
for these? Is there a motion to approve the whole tea?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Motion is made. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Discussion. All
No,
in
that
favor
was
say. excuse
Good
me.
information that you sent to us,
Yeah.
too. That really helped.
All in
Helped me
favor say
anyway.
aye.
Aye.
And opposed, nay. The motion is carried. Tim Hines.
I'll make a motion to approve the home occupation car dealership for Tim Hines.
I'll second it.
Further discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That motion is carried. And then the zoning permits, we need an approval or not?
Yeah.
We do, okay.
Motion to approve the zoning permits.
There were quite a few this month.
There's a lot of
That's a good
buildings.
sign.
Mhm.
Busy spring, summer
See, we had a motion. Did
I'll
somebody?
second it.
Okay. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Zoning permits are approved.
Thank you.
And where are we?
Highway Department. Can we go back to Highway Department, please?
Sure. Go ahead.
We just have spent a lot of time talking about the Highway Department, and I've been giving this really a lot of thought and talking to a lot of people, and I feel that we're elected to be decision makers for the county. That's what voting someone into public office is all about, and I think that we need to take that decision-making very seriously. And with that being said, I'd like to make a motion that we move forward with the county shop building project. My motion includes charging Brian Pogozinski, Houston County Engineer, with pursuing the permits for our building along with the position of the county shop on the 20 acres that we've already designated as our site for the county shop. I also charge the county engineer with presenting the final plans of the building design to the county commissioners.
Does everyone understand the motion? Is there a second?
I thought we were
I'll
gonna.
second it.
Okay. Now
Discussion.
we can discuss.
Yes.
I thought we were gonna wait till after you visit with the public, with other people from the public, and we were gonna.
Be perfectly honest, as
Why
the
is this
dis-
coming about now?
As the, you know,
I think we have to
I think
pursue
we
getting
need-
the
I've been
permits.
thinking about this a really lot lately, and I've been giving it a lot of thought, and I've had people come up and say, why aren't you guys moving forward with this? And I can't answer them honestly, so from my own opinion, I just felt that this motion needed to come forward, that we need to move ahead with the county shop. We hire a county engineer who's very responsible. It should be his job to be getting the permits going, to figure out with the right people where to position it on that 20 acres that makes it the best. We don't know where the best position for that county shop is on there. That's his job, and his job to work with the professional people who know that, where there'll be the best retaining ponds and everything else. And also, he's been working with the architect longer than we have, and I think that it's time for him to move ahead with the building design and then come back to us for approval. We're not moving anywhere on this. And we can't sit with
At
the
least we're
shop like
starting.
we are
You
because
just made a motion to build it at the 23-acre site.
we already made that
That's a movement.
decision.
That's a movement forward.
No, we already did that.
We already did that. We've already decided,
And all we're doing now is moving it forward to
moving
look
it
for
forward to
permits.
give him responsibility to
See-
move it ahead for the permits, for the placement, and for the design, and bring it back to us for approval.
We gotta
Okay,
move.
I'd like to know where I was at Eitzen over the 4th, and all the people I'm talking to is saying, you need to, they're happy that I'm kind of trying to get discussion going about building it, having the fairgrounds still involved in that. And I've even heard people say you gotta stick with a
Unless we
rubber.
buy more land, the fairgrounds area does not work.
Yeah.
And then I just cannot see going out and buying more land.
But-
I mean, it just makes no sense to me. We have 22 acres.
What, do we need 5 more
It's
acres?
22 acres. Yeah, but you gotta find somebody to sell it, and it's gotta be suitable. There's land out there. There has to be a willing seller. There is, I believe, a willing seller next door.
I've heard
We
that.
haven't gotten into discussion with it, but it's not suitable at
Is-
all. It's a-
Is that the behind it?
It would be, behind would be more suitable, but it's farmland, and it's not for sale at this point that I'm aware of. And I haven't discussed it with the owner.
I just think that we have this land, this has been on the board for how long? We really need to move forward with
Well,
it.
and we have to start checking out the permits for sure.
Right, we can't go anywhere without the permits. We need a site location in order to do that, and we need to know what the building plans are. We could drag this out for another 20 years. Only we can't continue to do this. I was at a meeting of the one that Kurt had, the emergency management planning meeting. Is that what it was called?
Kurt Coolers.
Coolers,
Coolers.
you mean.
Coolers,
Yeah.
yes. And we talked about all the things in the county, they're doing their renewal of stuff, and we talked about the fact that you have to have a good county shop in order to protect your equipment. So when there is an emergency, you're ready to react and go. I mean, the county shop is a very important part of our county, and we need to have it ready for an emergency. There's even a chance that we could get a grant from FEMA. We're checking into it for getting a grant from FEMA that would pay to upgrade the shop from the lower priced one to the higher price so that it really would hold up for any storm. And so it's like the perfect time to go forward with this so we can also say, we're ready to apply. We're at this level right now, but we really want to move it up so it will withstand any storm. I
Yeah.
mean, that was a really good meeting. It was after our Tuesday meeting last week, or the last
What
time we
part
met Tuesday.
what part would withstand a storm, or which part what are you talking
They're
about?
how we talked about the
The
three
num-
different models. The
Steel-
one
steel
steel
con-
combination
steel?
or all cement. Well, they know that the all cement will hold up to storms better than any other make, and that's what a lot of the county shops are doing now. But if we can get this on board at the same time that we're doing our annual report and apply to FEMA for a grant that would make this county shop go up to be the cement version, it would hold up to storms better. I mean, what an opportunity.
If we could get a grant.
Yeah, if we can get that
But we're not
grant.
even talking about that yet. We're just
Right,
talking
we're
about
just
moving
talking,
forward,
we're just
about for
talking moving
permits.
forward. The plans will come back to us before it goes, the building plans will come back to us. We've
Yeah.
already decided on the site. We made that
Well,
motion, it passed, and we're moving forward.
Yeah.
You can't keep going back and forth and back and forth. You have to be decision makers. That's what you're elected to do.
And you're also elected to listen to your
Right.
constituents.
I did get.
And I do, and
I
I'm not
did-
hearing what you're hearing.
I'm
Judy.
hearing
And
quite a
see,
bit
and
of
I'm
it.
hearing the opposite.
I'm hearing the opposite of what you're hearing.
I actually got 4
People want to hold the
calls.
line.
I actually
'cause
got
of-
4 calls saying that, we were elected to research this and make the decision. And if the money is not going to be levied and it's ready to move forward, we should keep moving forward. Of the calls I got Monday.
Well, I think the buildings, the we can do a really fine building for a lower cost.
Well, we haven't got to that point yet. We're just looking at permits right now
Yeah.
to see where it's feasible.
And the
Because that
building
all has
plans
to come
will
back to us anyway.
Have
We
you
don't
talked,
even have
have you
a-
talked to the school about, are they,
Well, see,
are
that's
we at
where-
that point yet?
That's the
Does the
point we're
school
doing.
want to have that,
You
have
know-
backup alarms going?
You know, that has,
That's what we gotta check
that's
into.
And-
all the things that we need to research as we get our permits. It doesn't do any good for each one of us to go out and talk because it's not a decision. We need to have somebody who's going out researching. We don't know even exactly what the cost of the building is going to be because we haven't finalized a plan yet. The only thing that we've decided by motion is that we are going to put it
Keep moving forward.
out at the,
At the 22-acre site that we
22-acre
own.
site. That's the only thing
And what's
we've
your,
done.
what are you doing now today?
Now I want to charge Brian with doing the research on it, to find out about getting the permits, where we put the building, and the building design, and then to bring the building design back to us for our approval.
Mhm.
And then we'll know. Right now, we have people saying, this county building's gonna cost from up to $8 million and stuff. We don't have a cost. We do not have a cost. We have a cost of that building that was designed how many years ago? That's bigger than what we're going to make, so we really don't know what the building's gonna cost. We don't know any of the costs. How can we make decisions if we don't know? We don't even know if we can get the permits for out there.
We
need-
had an architect here a couple months ago.
But we didn't have costs and we didn't come up with a final design. So I think that we just need to move forward. How can we as decision makers make a decision without the information that we need?
We need the information, that's for sure.
I mean, so that's what this is doing. It's having them go forward with picking the site, where it's gonna be, if we can get the permits. I mean, right now, how do we vote on something that we don't even know if we can get the permits for?
Yeah.
We need to move forward with this.
Why don't you call for the vote?
I'll call for the vote.
Okay, motion's made, seconded, discussion has been had. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. And opposed, nay.
Nay.
Motion is carried. Okay, courthouse jail issues. And I think,
Tess,
Tess
well,
pretty
we
much
have to
covered
wait
that,
till next
correct?
week for the people to
Presentation.
talk, presentation next week.
and Commissioner reports. Dana, would you like to start, please?
Oh, yeah. Last week was a slow week, vacation week for a lot of us, not myself included. And yesterday I went to One Watershed, One Plan in Preston, that's ongoing, a monthly meeting.
Are they moving forward on that? Are
We're
we getting
moving
closer to us?
There's a lot of work to be done on the plan by the engineering people, engineering firm we hired, so,
But how many counties does it actually go through?
10.
10? So, and we're at the bottom end
We're
of
at
it.
the end of the watershed, but
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be a good thing, and I'm sure it is.
I think it
I'm
is,
sure
too.
I've heard nothing but good things about this.
Yep.
so.
Me
And,
too, and the fact there was a big article in one of those pamphlets that we got from Soil and Water, or, yeah, about it. I think it's
And
good.
there's a lot
I'm
of
glad you-
agents, there's a lot of outside agencies involved in helping us come up
Yeah.
with a good plan.
Good.
That's all I had.
I too had vacation last week, and I didn't even have internet, so I couldn't even do any county business. Where I went, that and poison ivy. It was a great week. The only meeting I had was a telephone conference with AMC concerning that pilot program that they're doing to help county boards. It's a county board training program and to help run a meeting, starting listing board norms that we would all respect and everything. And they're going to get back to us on it. And Judy can probably explain it too, because she went to the same meeting. So it was a good, very informational. And that was the only one I had.
And we should be hearing more about that after the 20th, because all the people that are going to be putting on the training and designing it are meeting on the 20th. They're just getting input right now for what kind of training and stuff this should be. And then after that, they'll be setting a date with us for coming down to doing some of this training. So I think it should be really good.
They said it was a need throughout the whole state,
Yeah.
so they're really working on it
Yep.
to help meetings.
And then I went to the emergency management where they're working on the 5-year plan. And it was really interesting, and there's going to be meetings coming out to each area of the county. There'll be a meeting in La Crescent, Houston, and Caledonia. And the dates are going to be coming out, and I haven't heard anything. I don't know if they've been posted anywhere, because I've sort of been out of the loop this last week too. But they encourage all the commissioners to attend the meetings that are in their area to get input on the emergency management needs in their districts. And I also had that meeting there, and then I had another meeting. What was the other one? Oh, blank. Just a second, I gotta look and see what it was. I know I had one more meeting that week. Sorry. Oh, I had an adult protection team meeting with Human Services, and one of the biggest things now is that people who are reporting a vulnerable adult, abuse of a vulnerable adult will now be calling the state. So if you call it into the county, you'll get a recording that says you need to call it in to the state 800 number. The state is taking over the reporting of that. Mandated reporters, though, will still file the written forms at the county level. So that's all new and it started the 1st of July. So that'll be a whole new statewide thing. And they have lots of kind of counter coverage so that no report doesn't get followed up on. It was a very interesting meeting.
Okay, is that it?
Yep,
Okay,
that's
I
it.
just had some conversations with landowners about alternate sites for a highway shop. Nothing is going that's really leading anywhere at this point. And I had township officers at the Redwood last Monday, or a week ago Monday. And that was it. Otherwise, 4th of July, busy. Okay. Can we get approval of the claims, human services, and license center disbursements?
We already did that.
We did that.
We
We
did that
did
already?
that.
Okay,
And we did the
liquor license,
liquor-
I'm sorry,
Yep.
yes, we
Liquor
did.
done.
Is there any further business to come before this meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
9:30.
Opposed, nay. We are adjourned.